In 1896, 4 forts were commissioned by the then South African government, the Boere at that stage, to defend Pretoria. And in those 4 forts, they got their hands onto 4 long tom cannons, which came from France. But now, we went on a quest to try and find out whatever happened to these 4 cannons. 3 of them, according to our researchers, bits and pieces are sort of known where they are, but there's the 4th one. Therein lies the mystery. Our journey has taken us to Pretoria, the Union buildings, where they say there's a long tom. Now, I'm not sure if this is a long tom because I've been trying to look at the markings on it, and nowhere does it seem to say that it's a long tom. There's a badge thing over there, but I don't know. It certainly is quite an impressive cannon, that's what I can say, whatever this one is over here. But yeah, I don't know why they don't at least put something somewhere just explaining what the cannon is. Would be kind of useful, I guess. So you say there's a cannon that side somewhere?
Just one.
And then there's one
at the next to robot down there.
Next to the robot, eh? Okay, so we're going to go and see, because maybe it's a long tom, I don't know, eh? Yeah. Let's see. I'm just looking now, where on earth? Let me just see where we're looking on it. Where would that be, I wonder? Gee whiskers, there. Okay. Okay, let's go and have a look here. Alright, let's see if this maybe, that looks similar, the barrel. I must say, the barrel does look similar. And the wheel looks similar. Here I go. I got a feeling this might be the one, hey? I think so. Wait a bit, hang on. It's a German naval gun. No, this is a German naval gun. Inches. I think we've drawn a blank again on this cannon. Hectic. Well, here we go, next one, but I don't think this is going to be what I'm looking for, because it's looking a little short. I'm guessing this is not a long tom. No, the construction of this one is way different. Way different. Vickers Limited. No, this is not what we're looking for. So here's a little bit of interesting trivia, and it's a true story actually, and that the one cannon from the Skanskop long tom, it's got a little bit of damage, and so it had to have a little bit of surgery done on it, and its barrel was just made a little bit shorter, and yeah, it was called the Jude. That was the nickname for it. Yeah. We thought in our search, we came to the Johannesburg War Museum here by the zoo, and we thought at first maybe we had found one, a long tom, because this is massive. I mean, gee whiskers, this has got a huge barrel. Yeah, I'm afraid this one is not a long tom, unfortunately, but it's something that was used, looks like, in East London. Yeah, well, so the Johannesburg Military Museum didn't produce any results for us, or not even finding parts of the long toms, or a long tom parts. But Clifford, he lives in Simonstown, and he said across the way there's a guy that lives there that apparently he restores old cannons. So we're guessing maybe he's got some kind of answers for us.
Yes.
Martin, I'm Brendan. How are you?
How are you doing?
Awesome. You are restoring cannons and things like that. Now, you might be the right person that we need to speak to.
I'm the chairman of the Cannon Association of South Africa, and part of our duty is to look after the old cannons, the muzzle-loading cannons.
Is that what's down there?
That's correct, yes.
Oh, look at that! But is this a cannon off a ship or something?
That's correct.
Why is it so small?
All cannons come from ships in any way. They were never built to fight on land, but they were rebuilt or modified to fight on land.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to why I came here today, and that is, in Pretoria there are 4 forts, okay,
yes.
and there were 4 long toms that were brought in during the Anglo-Boer War, just before the 1900s.
Yeah.
Would you happen to know? And one, anything about those 4 cannons? Do you know anything about that?
I only know the one in Leidenburg. That's it.
Leidenburg. Yeah. Oh, you mean Leidenburg? You mean Longtong Pass?
Longtong Pass. That's it.
That's the one that you're busy really trying to find, because it just seemed to have, even parts of it have just disappeared. It's like a mystery of mysteries.
I'm sorry that you came all the way from Mpumalanga, which is a long way.
Yeah.
I know Mpumalanga, we used to live there. Yeah. So you've got a long drive back.
Oh no! Okay, well then back to Gauteng. Here we are, the Longtong Pass. It is in Mpumalanga going down to Sabi. There's a very long pass going down there. But here is that 4th Longtong. Well, not quite, because this one is obviously a replica that they have standing over here, because the mystery around this, the 4th Longtong, hopefully there's a plaque on the other side of this Longtong, and I'll just see if there's a bit more history here about the 4th Longtong. Okay, so it was in the defense of Mafeking, there was a Longtong, there was in Kimberley, Ladysmith. The one was damaged in Lombardskop, and it was again, yeah, there you go. It was fixed in Pretoria in the railway shops, and that's the one. That's the shortened one. Duet. Okay, cool. And then the last one, they say, was destroyed by the Boere of Kanonkop in 1901. In 1901. Okay, well, there we go. That plaque gave us gives us a lot of interesting stories. But you know what? I think the other day we did a story up here on Hobbs Hollow, which is a brewery just up the road there. It's a hotel brewery. And I bet you the owner there must know or have heard of people searching for that 4th Longtong, or any of the Longtongs for that matter. So I think we're going to make a turn up there and see what he has found out.
There's always stories going around, and the story that we most likely hear in these areas is of the 2 cannons. The one is called the Longtong and the one is called the Jew. So over the mountain from Leidenburg towards the point where the cannon is actually stationed now, the Boer took the cannons and fled from the English. So on this property, both these cannons were actually active.
Yeah.
And there and then 2 lighter cannons, which were for 5-pound cannons.
Okay.
And as they fled, they had certain positions where they would set up, attack, and then move on.
Right.
So at Forbes Hollow here, one of the spaces here on top of the mountain, here was one of the places where these cannons was actually active and shot at the English.
We'll take a look a little bit later.
We can show you. And where the cannons are today, I can't tell you, unfortunately, but there is a lot of stories, you know. That was the last active point for the Longtong cannon.
Great stuff. Have you had people ever come in with their metal detectors and going down the ravines and looking for the cannon?
Yeah, we have had a lot of people coming with their metal detectors and looking and finding a few things and having their stories. And you know, there's a lot of people that's that says that the Kruger Millions is somewhere here in the mountains.
Yeah.
There's always these stories, but you never really know what exactly is the truth.
So what other evidence, shall we say, have you got to see warfare that happened, Anglo-Boer warfare that happened on your property?
So besides the amount of empty shells and bullets that people have found on the property itself, and the Boere's guns up there that we just talked about, would be the supposedly 5-pound bombshells that you can actually see in the mountain.
Oh, those depressions up there.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to tell you maybe it's diggings.
Yeah.
So
what makes you don't?
They're not very deep.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
So there's no real, you know, if it was diggings, it would have been shafts going down into
or longer ones.
Or longer ones going into the mountain.
Yeah.
As where these are just small little bombshells.
And some zamas would have been in there already.
Exactly.
The wind is going here at one hell of a pace. But Willem sent us up here where the towers are, the Telkom tower, well, whatever towers there, it must be for cell phones, but he says up here is a place where the Boere had a place where you could put the cannons or they could shoot from. And I would imagine over there Down there you can see there's a little outcrop there. They would have had a good vantage point over there. Okay, here's a view on the other side of this hill that I'm on. Oh no, that's Bokdrola. Nope, that's not from a musket. Okay, I'm dedicated but not that dedicated to just seeing where they would shoot from. When we get back to the car, it's also freaking cold. But the good news is 2 days ago I was working on a shoot for a client of mine, and Johan, this gentleman that we were filming over there, he manufactures these harnesses for you know, these guys that hang off buildings and things like that. And I saw that he has a keen interest in South African heritage. So I asked him about the long toms, and lo and behold, he picks up his phone and he starts dialing.
Okay, want ek het oor te
ander plek ons het so daar bo nie in Longtom self ons het so daar in Magoebaskloof op sy daar afgegaan het daar het sit maar en sê dit gooi.
Now the result of that is I'm on my way to Komatipoort, the northeast side of South Africa, to go and see what they found those years ago in their search for that cannon.
It's a long time ago. It was in 1997.
Yes.
One of my climbing buddies, JC Grobler, contacted me. We were in the same unit in Palabora, and then
In the Defence Force?
yes, in the Defence
Okay.
Force. And then he asked me if I could join him on a weekend trip to do advanced reconnaissance. Basically scout, because apparently some of the farmers have seen something shining down in a valley.
Okay.
And they might believe it's one of the old long toms that's gone missing.
Why would they think that it's one of the long toms?
The Boers have done away with some of their cannons at a
Yes.
stage, and ek weet nie of hulle dit teen die kraanse afgegooi het nie. Maybe
Okay.
that's the reason. I think that is the reason why the farmer maybe thought there might be a cannon down there.
And what did you find?
No, we only found it was a shiny rock, not a barrel or anything like
Is
that.
that so?
Yeah.
And is that where the story ends?
Not really. I had to deploy, but JC and some people, some of his men
They
went back.
followed up on the story.
They followed up and they apparently did a search there. I don't know apparently
What they found?
what they found. I can't tell you, but I've got JC's number. I can give it to you. You can contact him and you can speak to him and get to his side of the story.
Oh, well, yeah, Brendan, I mean, we didn't find anything. Except there's been a lot of rock falls over the last century in that area.
Okay.
So you could see that they were older rock falls, but I mean, most of that valley has lots of cluttered rocks that came from the cliffside.
I see.
And the cliff has been quite unstable. There's a few caves underneath the cliff.
Oh wow.
Mostly nothing except bush pigs, a lot of bush pigs. And yeah.
Is that what you found?
And with the metal detectors, we didn't pick up maybe a few scrap metals, but you knew that the rocks were quite big. So
Yeah.
it's not easy to do it there with nothing.
But there was no cannon there. Ah, amazing! I tell you, it's just an incredible story. This, and I think, I think at this point, I think it's best left a mystery. I think this cannon, and let people keep looking and wondering and creating stories as to where the last cannon might be. What do you say?
Yeah, maybe the best to leave the long-term mystery for the future generation.
Yeah.
The next explorer.
The next explorer, exactly. So by accident, we were filming here in Magoebaskloof and Johannesburg, which lies in the back there, and we saw the sign, Long Tom. So we came to have a look, and lo and behold, here we find the hole created when the last Long Tom was blown up. And there you go, this is what we have left of our last Long Tom, a little pile of stones, big hole, because it says here, this hole was caused by the explosion when Gustav Thiel, at the command of Captain Heinrich de Tooy, destroyed the last Long Tom here on the 30th of April 1901. It's been a long, long journey. But you know what? Maybe not.